Hey everybody, we're going to do a rent versus buy scenario. This is going to be your initial training video. This whole scenario is something you guys really need to understand, because if you can do this effectively and convincingly, you won't ever have to worry about losing another client to not buying a house where they decide, oh, we're going to rent for another year, or we're going to hold off until we can save some money, or any one of the other 100 reasons. All of those reasons, all of those objections, they simply go away if you can do this properly. These tenants will actually look at renting as a disease, and they won't want to make another payment ever again. So this is one of the most effective tools that we can ever have that will convince people all the advantages of buying. And if you don't currently own right now, you're going to be pissed off about renting, so it's going to work on you too. So this is what we're doing. This is still a little bit of a draft, but I'd say we're probably 99% of the way through. It's going to be on 11 by 17 paper. You guys are going to get these things. We'll have them printed up for you. On the cover, it's going to have our 6 big reasons why they work with us. And on the back, we'll have the testimonials, all right, with some people with some big success stories. On the inside, 11 by 17. Now, there's a really good disclosure at the bottom, and since we just had these printed up over at FedEx, the disclosure actually doesn't show up. But one of the things that's actually going to be very important for you is that you're able to do this thing not just proficiently, but that you're able to do it proficiently upside down. Yeah, I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's a technique and a tool that I used to use back when I was a 21-year-old lender. I used to go inside people's houses and I'd get their tax returns and I'd go through the pay stubs and all this other stuff, and people would wonder, who's this kid? Why am I giving all my financial stuff to this kid? And it was a really hard objection for me to overcome, even though I made sure that I was well spoken, I made sure that I was well dressed, I made sure I was more prepared than the other people that would come in, the 30, 40, 50-year-olds that I was competing against. So I knew I needed another angle. So what I did is I probably spent 100 hours sitting at my kitchen table, and I learned how to read, write, and do arithmetic upside down. So I could actually do all of their payment calculations upside down in front of them. And I wouldn't look up, but I would notice them as soon as I started doing this. The husband and wife would typically kind of look at each other for a second, and they'd look back, and after that they were hooked. Because I tricked them into thinking that I'm some sort of savant or something like that, which is always a fun little thing to do. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to do this rent versus buy scenario. Jessica, my wife, is holding the camera right now, and we are in my we're in my living room. But we just rolled this out, and I had the agents do their first try on this, and basically nobody got it right. Well, one person got it right. So I figured I would do another example of this using the actual form. Now I just got this, so I'm going to be doing this upside down for the very first time, because this is a brand new piece of paper, but I feel that we need to get this out pretty quickly. So Jessica's going to answer some questions for me as we move along. And she is going to be the prospective renter. And as we go through, we'll be doing a little bit of acting as we go along. But these are going to be common objections that you might get. And if she doesn't remember to do the objection or doesn't know the objection, I'll give her the objection. She'll give me the objection back, and then I'm going to handle it. So we should hopefully have you guys covered on this. Okay? All right, so during your buyer's presentation, at some point in time, we're going to come up to the rent versus buy slide. And this is going to be a good segue for you to pull one of these things out of your binder. And so what we're going to do is we're going to step into this and pretend that I'm doing the presentation, and we're moving along, and now we get to that slide. So here we go. All right, so Jessica, do you rent right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let me ask you this. How much money do you currently pay in rent each month?
$2,000.
You pay $2,000, huh? $2,000 per month. All right. And then who is that rent paid to?
To my landlord.
So you pay the money to your landlord every single month, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and once again, folks, the reason we're doing this upside down is so that they can see you, because remember, the husband and wife or whoever it is you're doing it with is going to be sitting across the table for you, so you've got to do it in a way that they can read it. Now, my handwriting isn't quite as good as it used to be upside down, but it's something you need to do. Okay, so rolling back. So you pay this rent to who?
To the landlord.
You pay it to your landlord, okay. All right, so let me ask you this. Now, do you rent a house, or is it a condo, or what is it you rent?
A house.
You rent a house. Okay, good. So when that house goes up in value, as we know, houses in the United States, they go up in value. So when the house goes up in value, you as a renter, while you're renting, it goes up in value. How much of that do you actually get to keep? How much is yours?
None.
So when it goes up in value, you don't get to keep any of it, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too bad. All right, so we're going to write a 0 through there. All right, now you must, of course, get some sort of tax benefits, right, from the interest deduction and the property taxes, things like that. Do you get any tax benefits from renting?
No, but I think that I do get to write off some flat amount for renting.
Okay. Actually, the answer is no, you don't get any tax benefits from that. And actually, the other answer is no, you don't get to take any deductions at all from renting. Okay, you don't get any tax benefits at all. The landlord gets all the tax benefits.
Well, that's
Okay, so out of this $2,000, so how much is your actual cost since we don't get those two benefits?
My actual cost is $2,000.
It's $2,000. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Is that $2,000 each month, is that invested or is that thrown away?
Unfortunately, thrown away.
Okay, so it's thrown away. All right, that's too bad. All right, and then we know that for an entire year, that's going to be what, $24,000?
Yes,
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
it is.
$24,000. And again, is that $24,000? Is that invested or is that thrown away?
That is thrown away.
That's thrown away. Okay, well that's unfortunate. But what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to fix that. Okay?
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're looking at houses that are roughly 500,000, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this estimated purchase price. We're going to put $500,000. Okay, and then you were going to put 10% down, right?
Yeah, I think so. But
Yeah, 10%.
okay. I thought
All
with the VA loan, though, I don't have to put anything down.
Yeah, but for this drill, it's important that we have two different numbers.
Well, you should have told me that.
Thanks for doing that, though. All right, so the estimated down payment, if you're going to do 10%, that's $50,000, right?
Oh, yeah, big chunk of money.
Big chunk of money. All right, now if you're a VA buyer, of course, you don't have to do anything, and these numbers all get much easier. But to make sure that we get this thing correctly, we're going to have somebody putting a down payment. So the total loan amount is $450,000 from there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what your payment is each month. Your monthly investment is what we call it. Now, unlike rent, when you pay rent each month, that's one check that goes to one person, and that's all it does. It doesn't do any different things. It's just one lump sum that goes. However, on the other hand, mortgage is your payment each month is actually divided into many different things, and each one of those things has its own advantages and tax benefits. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my phone right here, all right, and I'm going to figure out what some monthly investments are going to be. So let me go here, and I'm going to go to this function that I have on my home screen. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to input $450,000 at 4.25% interest rate. All right, we're done. And I'm going to get the schedule of payments. Now, the principal here is $619 per month. All right, so what I'm going to do right here is the principal is $619. Now, what principal is, as you know, when somebody buys a house, over the course of 30 years, they'll finally pay it off, right?
Is that the right number? Should it be 1,600?
No, it's correct.
Okay.
All right, so the principal is $619. Now, interesting enough, I went ahead and wrote forced savings account because what's interesting is every single month you pay that $619. That is your ownership of the house. You're paying the house off. It's still your money. It didn't go to some landlord. It didn't go anywhere. It went into your house, which is still yours. So we think of it as more of a forced savings account. Now, coming back to my app here, you can see that the interest each month is $1,593. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that right here, $1,593. Right? Now the taxes. Now that's what we call property taxes. I want you right now to ask me, but I don't pay any property taxes now.
But I don't pay any property taxes right now.
Yes, you do. Actually, you
I do.
Yes, you do. It's just built in.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is, for the property taxes, we're going to take this full $500,000, all right, and we're going to multiply that by the tax rate of 1.1%. Equals?
How do you find the tax rate?
Okay, because the tax rate here in North San Diego County is about 1.1% across the board. Pretty much everywhere is between 1.08 and 1.112, so we just go with 1.1. Now, if you go up into Riverside, the tax rates actually fluctuate quite a bit. So that's each individual house is going to have a different tax rate, and we have to look at the tax records to figure out what that is.
Oh, okay.
All right, but for this drill, we're going to do it 1.1%.
Okay.
All right, so coming back here, so the tax rate on a $500,000 house at 1.1% is $5,500 per year. We're going to divide that by 12, and we're going to get $458 per month. Now, notice we're not playing anything with pennies. We're just going to do nice round numbers. So $458 per month. Now, what's neat about this is, now we already talked about the principal, right?
Yes.
You make that part of the payment, and that's still your money. It didn't go anywhere. It's still your money. The interest and taxes, and one of the neat things is these are deductible. on your taxes. Do you know what tax deductions are?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to go and I'm going to show you more over here about the tax benefits. Lots of benefits of home ownership that you don't get renting. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the $1,593 and I'm going to add the $458, and that's $2,051. Okay, so that's $2,051 monthly tax deductions. Now, each month you're going to pay taxes on $2,051 less income, and I'm going to show you over here exactly how that works.
Okay.
Okay, now the insurance here, now we're not quite done with your payment yet, but the insurance here is, that's your fire insurance policy. Now that's going to be a lot of cool things about that. It's not just a fire insurance policy for the dwelling, but it's also some personal property, some liability things. It's a lot of different things. Now, do you have renter's insurance right now?
Yes.
Okay, good. And it's just a contents policy that's just covering your personal property, but not the structure, right?
Correct.
Now it's going to be exactly the opposite. Well, not exactly the opposite because it still includes your contents. But now it's a fire insurance policy. It's going to cover the dwelling. Now the fire insurance policies, they can vary quite a bit depending on how much you want as a deductible and how much coverage you want. All right. But we find for a $500,000 house, the average is about $75 a month. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that down. Now again, that could vary quite a bit depending on how you want to set that up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add all these numbers together. And we're going to get $2,745. Okay, that's what your monthly investment is each month.
But that's a lot more than what I'm paying rent for.
Yeah, if it is more than what you're paying rent for right now. But what if Jessica, what if I could actually show you how this is actually substantially cheaper than this? Would you be interested to know how that works?
I would be very interested.
Okay, so what I'm doing right here
Hold on
is,
though. What if I had said that I don't know what a tax deduction is?
that's what we're going into right now anyway.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, whether you answer knew what it was or you didn't, we'd do the same thing anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how this is actually substantially cheaper than this. And Jessica, what I'm actually showing you right now is the key to wealth. All right, let me ask you this question. Do you know anybody who's wealthy, like really wealthy people?
Yes.
Okay, how many of them rent?
None of them.
None of them, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's because people who own, they've cracked a code. They've figured out some neat things. And this is what I'm about to show you right now. This is going to, whether you buy a house or not, this knowledge is going to change your life. What I'm going to show you is how to create generational wealth. Not just wealth for you and your family now, but I'm talking for your kids and moving on from there. This is a big deal. Did you know that the average homeowner is 36 to 41 times as wealthy as the average renter?
No, I did not.
Yeah, that's actually true. It's because they have figured this out, or at least they backed into it by accident. But once you understand the numbers here, you're really going to understand why. Now, there's a reason that 80% of planet Earth's wealth is held in real estate. A lot of people think it's in the stock market. Maybe they think it's in their savings account. But actually, 80% of planet Earth's wealth is held in real estate. Because a lot of very wealthy people have figured this out. All right, so let's move on to this next section here. So I'm going to teach you about tax deductions. How much money do you make each month? Now, this is for your family. Now, this is gross income, not what you take home, but what's your gross income per month?
Probably about $8,000.
Okay, about $8,000. Okay, so if we were to multiply that by 12, then that's, what, $96,000 per year, right?
Sure, Rain Man.
Oops, fractions are there. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what your taxes is. Now, we went to taxfoundation.org and we got the 2017 tax rates. So you make about $96,000 a year. That's going to put you in this 28% tax bracket right here. That's for federal. And then for state, you're over the 51 but under the 263. So you got 9.3. So when you add these two things up, you get about 27.3%, right?
If you say so.
I'm sorry, 37.3. 37.3%. 37.3%. Okay, so if we take the $8,000, and this is where the tax benefits of home ownership are going to come in, and you're going to multiply that by that 37.3%, we're going to figure out how much taxes you pay in each month. Now, this is just state and federal taxes. It doesn't include your FICO, FICA, Social Security, FDB, and all the other great things that Uncle Sam finds ways to take money from you. All right, this is just state and federal. So we're going to take the $8,000, all right, and we're going to multiply that by 37.3%. So that's $2,984, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what you pay right now in just state and federal taxes is $2,984 per month.
Wow.
That's unfortunate, isn't it?
That is.
That's more than you pay in rent. It's more than you pay to live.
Ridiculous.
That's unfortunate, right? Let me ask you this. This $8,000, is that active income or is that passive income? Now, let me explain the difference. Active income is when you have to go to work every day to earn the money.
Right.
Passive income is money that just shows up in your mailbox and you didn't have to work for it. So is this active income or is this passive income?
Active.
Okay. All right. So moving back here. So you pay, out of your $8,000 growth, you pay $2,984 per month in taxes. Now that's unfortunate. Now what we're going to do, now this is as a renter because you don't get any tax benefits. Now we're going to move down here. So let's do this hypothetically as an owner. Your gross monthly income is, again, we're still $8,000. But remember over here, we had this tax deduction for interest and taxes. Now this isn't an option, this is automatic, right? So this is $2,051 that you get to write off each month, meaning you don't have to pay taxes on it. So we take this 2051, right, and we subtract the 8,000 because right now you're paying 37.3% on the full 8,000. But once we do this calculation here, so I'm going to take 8,000 minus 2051. That's 59.49. So now you're only paying taxes on $5,949, whereas before you were paying taxes on full $8,000. So let's go ahead and take that same 37.3%. So we take this 59.49 right here times 37.3% equals 2218. So before, as a renter, you pay $2,984 each month in taxes. But as a homeowner, with these two deductions, now you only pay $2,218.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That's great.
Okay, so and we're just going to summarize it. So as a renter, you pay $2,984 in taxes each month. And as an owner, you would pay $2,218 each month. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're just going to go over here and we're going to subtract the two. That's a $766 per month savings in taxes. That means you're paying $766 less taxes each and every month. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? You don't get any of that as a renter, but as an owner you get it. So now you're starting to see why it's so much better to own and it's actually cheaper. So let's go ahead back down here into section C. Now we have your total investment. We've already figured out your total monthly investment of $2,745, right? And that was from this column right here. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to do is subtract out your forced savings. Now remember this money you pay each and every month of the $619. That goes toward paying down your house. It's still your money. It didn't go anywhere. It's still your money. That's $619, all right?
Okay.
Now we also know that we're going to pay $766 less taxes each month, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we subtract out this $766. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll go back over here, and we're going to take the $2,745, and we're going to subtract $619, and then we're going to subtract $766, and we have $1,360. That's your actual cost of ownership before appreciation, or the cost of ownership. So you can see there's no smoke and mirrors here, there's no tricks here. This $619, you see how that's still yours, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And this $766, you see how you actually pay less taxes each month, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if we just subtract those two things from the total monthly investment of home ownership, you can see $1,360. Now, is that less or greater than the $2,000 a month that you are throwing away in rent?
That would be less.
That would be less. Okay. Now, this all by itself right here, if properties never went up in value, this is pretty cool, right?
Yes.
Let me show you how to make it even better.
Fantastic.
Okay. All right. All right, so now we're going to talk about appreciation. Now, there's a couple things that go on with appreciation. We know that properties go up in value, right? They go up and down. But
Most of the time, but not
most
always.
of the time, all right. And we have a whole objection handling script. We have a whole objection handling script for that too. All right, that's also another video. All right, so we know that overall, historically, property values in the United States go up 3% per year, and they have been ever since it's ever been recorded. Now, that's not just California; that's everywhere. That 3% includes those states like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, where there's a lot of land and plenty of room to grow. Right, they can always build more houses as populations go up. Mm-hmm. But right here in Southern California, do you see like a whole bunch of extra flat land to build on?
Nope, it's getting all built up already.
It's all built up. Not a lot of room to expand, right? Mm-hmm. All right, but the population of Southern California, specifically San Diego, is expected to double in the next 15 years. Where are those people going to go?
River Tacky.
Yeah. Now, last time I checked, God doesn't make any more dirt, is he? All right. So we don't have a lot of places to go. So as population, more and more people trying to live in the existing houses, there's really not a lot of room for them to grow or to go. So while the national average is 3%, we're projected right here in Southern California to go between 5 and 7% next year.
Wow.
All right, so that's a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure this out. Now, this is what I call appreciation, the velocity of money. This is where you start making a lot of free money. And there is such thing as free money once in a while. It doesn't happen very often. So we're going to go back to the estimated purchase price of $500,000. Okay. If we use the national appreciation rate of just 3%, now I can do this in my head, but we're going to go ahead and do it for the viewers at home here. 500,000 times 3% equals, all right, $15,000. Now what this means to you, Jessica, is that in the next 12 months, if we have just 3%, this $500,000 house is going to go up in value of $15,000. So as of today, February 6th, 2017, your birthday, by the way. Thank you for helping me on this. You're a hell of a sport. So on February 6th, 2017, this house is $500,000. On February 6th, 2018, this house is now going to be $515,000. So it's going to go up in value. And that's if we just use the 3%. All right. So let me go ahead and divide that by 12. Let's figure out what it is per month. That's $1,250. Okay. So that means that this house is going up in value $1,250 every single month. So today on February 6th, it's worth $500,000. On March 6th, it's going to be $501,250. So it goes up in value every single month.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh? Okay, now over here we figured out the cost of ownership. Remember this $1,360? We took the total monthly investment, subtracted out your forced savings, subtracted out your tax savings, we got $1,360. Let's take this $1,360 right here. All right, now we already figured out this rate of appreciation, so let's go ahead and subtract that out because if you ever go to sell the house, that's your money too. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the $1,360 and we're going to subtract out the rate of appreciation of $1,250. And that comes to $110. Now, it almost doesn't seem fair, right?
No, it's like I'm only paying $100 to live in my house.
That's right. You're only paying $100 to live in your house. Now, let's go ahead, and that's using a national average. Let's go ahead and actually use the forecasted rates of what we've got coming the next year. Now, it's between 5 and 7%, so let's just put it right in the middle and go with 6%. All right? So that's $500,000 house. And we're going to use 6%. All right. Now, again, I could do it in my head pretty easily. But times 6% equals $30,000. All right. So just to reiterate, using what is expected to happen this year, in the next 12 months, this house that's currently $500,000 right now on February 6, 2017 is going to be $530,000 on February 6th, 2018. So pretty neat. All right, now if we're going to divide that by 12, that's $2,500 per month. Okay, so again, going back to the cost of ownership from down here, $1,360, where we took out the forced savings account and the tax savings. We have $1,360. All right, $1,360. Now, let's say if we subtract this $2,500, that it goes up in value. Well, now we've got a slight issue here. Because if I subtract $2,500 from $1,360, we get a negative number. Now what that actually means, and I went ahead and wrote it out for you, is a negative number indicates a net profit each month, which means that not only will you get your entire $2,745 investment back each month, but you will also make $1,140 on top of that every single month. It's almost hard to believe. And hopefully, and I'm going to let you keep this here, hopefully you will understand that when you start getting appreciation, you start getting tax benefits for savings accounts, and all the different ways the mortgage money actually goes, you can see why it's so much better to own than it is to rent. Because in order to have any type of generational wealth inside the United States, you have to, if you don't own a house, you don't own things that go up in value, whatever it is, if you don't own things that go up in value, the only way to generate savings is to spend less than what we earn each month. Now, are we as Americans very good at that?
Not generally, no.
No, we just deficit spend like it's cool,
Yeah.
aren't we? All
Run
right.
that credit card.
You're on that credit card, absolutely. Everything's on credit. Okay.
The
now,
more you spend, the more you save.
yeah, the more you spend, the more you save. That's what my wife says all the time. Every time she goes shopping, the more you spend, the more you save. Absolutely, because she gets those little coupons once in a while. So go spend it all. All right. So anyway, going back to this right here. So I put brackets around this $1,140 to indicate that it's a negative number. I mean, it's actually a profit each month. Now, here's where this is going to get really cool. Notice I put the Monopoly guy here.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Do you ever play Monopoly in your life?
Yes, I have.
How do you win Monopoly?
Not playing my husband.
But seriously, how do you win Monopoly?
You buy all the hotels.
You own everything, right?
Yeah.
Now, is it possible for you to win at Monopoly if you didn't own anything and you just kept collecting that $200 every time you pass go?
No.
Do you have any chance at all of winning the game? Right.
Not especially when you land on Boardwalk.
Yeah, exactly. Boardwalk when I put that hotel on, huh? Okay, that's pretty much game over at that point in time.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a reason we use the two Monopoly guys is because this is the guy who just goes around in circles and passes go and collects the $200. He will never, ever, ever get in front, and at some point in time, he's going to lose the game. This guy over here, Mr. Moneybags, Grandpa Moneybags, he's the one that has investment properties. Now, I told you before that the average home owner is between 36 and 41 times as wealthy as the average renter, right? Mm-hmm. Here's a neat little stat. The average investor, meaning a person who owns at least one property plus at least one investment property, is on average 700 times as wealthy as the tenants that rent from them.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
That
Now,
is a
here's
big
where
deal.
this equation gets really fun. Because down here where I showed you this $110 that you paid each month, or this $1,140, this is still calculating in that you, Jessica, are the one making the $2,745 payment each month.
Yes.
What if we could get a renter to do that for you?
Wow. Tell
Yeah.
me how.
Tell me how, yes. All right, so now we have the net cost of ownership after appreciation, which is what we have right here, this 110. All right, now I'm going to put a negative in front of this because we know that this is actually still a payment, right? All right, so we have a negative $110 each month, all right? And let's say we could get somebody to rent this property. Now, some people seem to think that they rent properties cheaper than they own them. In fact, they don't. The two payments are just virtually identical. So we'd rent this property for $2,750. $2,750. Let's say we get that money coming in each month from a renter. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that $2,750 and we're going to subtract out the $110 it actually costs us each month, and that's $2,640 profit each month, because we have now figured out how to get somebody else to make all these payments. So the renter, the way it works for them is they pay to live. The homeowner, the investor that owns these rental properties, he's the one that's getting all the appreciation. He's the one who gets the forced savings account. He's the one who gets all the tax deductions, and the renter is the one who gets to pay for it all. Pretty cool, huh? All right.
Very cool.
Now, let's go over here. Now, let's say we actually have this 6% appreciation. So we have the $1,140. Now, I'm not going to put that as a minus here because we know this is a profit, right? And we're going to take that same $2,750 and we're going to add the two together. So 2,750 plus 1,140 equals $3,890. That just shows up in your mailbox every single month. Now, did you have to, if you were the investor that owned this property, did you have to go to work to earn this money?
No.
No, you didn't, did you? Did the guy, the renter, have to go to work to do all this for you? Him over here, he's working his butt off. He's working his butt off, right?
As long as it's not Section 8.
That's true. All right, so All right, so this either 2640 at just the 3% appreciation or this 3890 at the actual forecasted appreciation. This is, now let me ask you this, now this just shows up in your mailbox each month. So is this now active income or passive income?
That would be passive income.
This is passive income, right? Now passive income again is of course money that just shows up in your mailbox each and every month. Now I hope I showed you why this is a no-win situation. You will never, ever, ever get out of the rat race renting. But with all of the cool benefits of home ownership, with the forced savings account, the tax deductions, you pay less taxes, then you start keeping the appreciation, and then someday when you get to be an investor and you can have other people doing it, which one of these two do you think is gonna be able to retire?
Hopefully.
Hopefully
This
the
one.
investor, right?
Yes.
This guy can never retire. This guy can never get ahead because he is stuck in that monopoly where all he's doing is just collecting that $200, pass and go until he finally goes bankrupt. Monopoly is a really good game for this. It is a really good game for this. So anyway, folks, that is the rent versus buy scenario. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I did it upside down for the first time, and actually it was still pretty easy. So use this, watch it over and over again. If you can get really good at this, good tonality, good voice inflection, good hand motions, things like that, don't go too crazy with it, but being convincing, asking them questions, getting them involved, when it's all done, they will never ever want to make another rent payment again, and they will tell all their friends how smart you are, and then you're going to start doing more deals and make a lot of money. All right, everybody, go sell big.